Good morning everybody, it's Friday, so it's the last little day of your working week and then you get a wonderful weekend to look forward to. Okay, so today's maths lesson we're carrying on with multiplication. So let's start with the do now to begin with. So we've got, let's have a little look at the questions. The first one I think is fairly easy. The second one, hopefully we're remembering our place value charts. Let's do a little one together. So we've got 8,400. First of all, we want practice in writing those in the right columns. So if you're not confident writing those in the right columns, then stop and keep practicing writing different numbers in your place value chart. Now the first question, you are dividing by 10. Let's remember, dividing by 10 means you are moving the number one place. The number 10 has 1 0. It's left for larger and right for smaller. So we are moving this digit, this number, one place to the right, which means we're going to need another column here. I'm going to need my decimal point, and then what comes after the 0? Hopefully you're all shouting tenths. That's my next column. So I'm going to move all of my digits one place to the right. See them here? Make sure I don't forget my decimal point. So I have turned 8,400, divided it by 10 into 840. So we've done number 2 there together. So when you get to number 3, hopefully you'll be experts. The difference with number 3 is that you are dividing by 100. So think about what we said before. When we divide by 10, we move it one place to the right. When you divide by 100, it has 2 zeros. How many times do you think you might have to move it? Hopefully we can all think we are moving it 2 places to the right. Now, when you look at number 6, you might think, goodness me, Mrs. McDowell, this one looks a bit tricky. But this is what you've been looking at in your main activity, and I think you'll be amazing. We're going to do it together. So 32 times by 16. Now I've used a different board today, I just want to check you can still see it, you can. 32 times by 16. So I want us to think about the way that we've been working this out, so in yesterday's piece of work. So we've got 32 is our multiplicand, and we're going to multiply that number by 6 because that's in our ones column. 32 times by 6. So we might want to do that here in a separate calculation, and we're all quite good at multiplying by a 1-digit number. So 6 times by 2 is 12. 3 times by 6, which we know is actually 3 tens. 6, 12, 18, add one more on is 19. We've got 192. If we're unsure on how to multiply that number by 6 using short multiplication, then we could look at 32 times by 6 is the same as 2 times by 6, which is 12, and 30 times by 6, which is 3 times by 6, 18, and then we've got to make that number 10 times bigger. We know when we're making a number 10 times bigger, here's my number 18, we've just said we're making it 10 times bigger. So we're moving it one place, and left is larger. Move it one place to the left. We've got 180. And when you combine those two numbers, you get 192. So that's another way if you're not confident with multiplying a 2-digit number by a 1-digit number. So we've got 32 times by 6. Now hopefully we're all thinking, well, we've still got to multiply it by that tens column. So we'll do 32, and we're going to multiply it by 1. 32 times by 1, easy peasy, is 32. But we know that that 1 is actually a 10. So we need to make that number 10 times bigger. So let's go back to our place value chart. Let's put 32 in. Let's remind ourselves, multiplying by 10, it has got 1 0. I'm moving it to the left because left is larger. 3 moves to the hundreds column. 2 moves to the tens column. and the 0 fills my ones column. So my answer, when I multiply, let's put that underneath. When I multiply it by 10, is 320. And then I have got 2 numbers to add now. I've got 320 to add to 192. 2 add 0 is 2. 9 tens add 2 tens is 11 tens, which is the same as 110. 3 add 1 is 4, add 1 more is 5 hundreds. I should get 512 as my total. So that is just unpicking one of the do now questions. But the nice thing about number 6 in the do now, it leads on from the lesson that you did yesterday, and it also leads you straight into your Let's Explore. Now the Let's Explore has got a mistake in it, and you need to try and spot the mistake. So they've gone through the same process that we have, but they've forgotten something. They've got their multiplicand, they've split their multiplier, but they've forgotten to do something. So I want you to see if you can spot that mistake and correct it for me. And then the independent task, you've got a number of green numbers at the top. You've got 5 green numbers, and then you've got 10 black numbers. And you're going to play a little game. You're going to choose a green number, choose a black number, and multiply them together. And you have got the option to choose whatever you like. So you might do 13 times by 17, 14 times by 13. So you can choose 14 times by 19. You can choose the combinations. And you're trying to look for any products, so any answers that are less than 300. Or any products that are more than 900. And then at the bottom, there's a little bit that just says, if you think any of the pairs of numbers are too hard to multiply, then choose pairs of numbers that you are happy with. So don't get yourself confused because the numbers are too large. So you can choose the pairs of numbers that you're happy with. Okay, good luck everybody, and have a lovely, lovely weekend.